Welcome to the Trinity Force Podcast. Yo, it's that TForce Cast beaming straight to your home. Grab a beer so we know Pone ain't drinking alone. Send an email, a quick tweet, just pick up the phone. Leave a message, hit the beep if you're a creep, watch your tone. Discuss the meta game, patch notes, whatever helps your stats most. Obi Pone Kenobi is your last hope to snatch gold. So grab your headphones and join in the fun. We'll try enforcing some jokes and some cringeworthy puns. Yo, we can make it together, people. Trinity Force Podcast. These boys are second to none. Now that's the end of the intro. It's time we begun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 766 of the Trinity Force Podcast. I'm your host, N.A. Eric, and tonight, yes, you can see all of us if you're watching it on Twitch. We're starting back on Twitch. Yes, that was Chaz waving. If you're just listening, well, just imagine what we look like, and then you can see us. So, yeah, and tonight I'm joined by three of my favorite fellows, Sean, Chaz, and Kaib. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Tune into the stream so you can see my quarter-life crisis haircut.
Yeah, my long hair from also featured on the stream. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, everyone's good. And you could see my hair, which is actually very wet since I just came back from a run and showered and then set up for this, which is under a hat because otherwise I'd look like a ragamuffin. To put the term.
You look like a what?
A ragamuffin.
God,
I've never heard that one.
You've never heard of a ragamuffin?
That's a Minnesota thing, dude.
No, it's not.
No, let's get into this. Let's go.
I will look up what a ragamuffin means for you. Oh, apparently it's a cat breed, but you don't know what a okay, never mind. So we don't have to talk about ragamuffins.
No.
That's fine. But this week we are going over question of the week, but we also are going to talk about some champ pool stuff and why we have certain champions in our respective champ pools, why we don't have certain champion archetypes in our champ pools, etc., etc. So stay tuned to listen to all that. But before we get into it, Mr. No Hair Kaib, how you doing, man?
Hey, we're here. Quarter-life crisis. Cut our hair. Who knows? Who knows what's next? We might go crazy and pull a Sean and switch positions 18 times in 4 weeks.
He does do that, yeah.
That's my thing. I'm going to be talking about it again, too. I switched again. Don't worry.
Oh, God.
Oh no. Yeah,
That's it.
I thought you might have, because I pulled up everyone's u.gg ahead of this, and I was like, wait, do I have the right person? Because I've been seeing lots of other stuff that wasn't your top lane grind, and nope, it was you. So, yeah, but okay. Cool. Well, I see you're getting ready for summer, so your hair doesn't keep you hot, and you can enjoy all the hot weather that you get there in Memphis. Nice, Kaib. Chaz and your long locks, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. This week's been okay. Had some house issues come up, so we've been dealing with that beginning of this week, but everything else has been pretty good. As far as league goes, I've been steadily kind of climbing, playing my 3-4 games a day. I'm now in like gold 3, middle LP, somewhere in that range. So yeah, things are going good, slowly improving. And I've been like trying to really focus down on a couple of champions, as like my specific champion pool. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
Nice. I hope everything's okay with your house. I know that I've never owned property, but I know obviously my parents have, and I know other people that have, and yeah, taking care of your own home can be a real bitch. So hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, it should be fine. It shouldn't cost too much. So
Gotcha. Well, I do have some repairs to take care of in my apartment, though I will not be doing it since I'm a renter. But I went to take a bag to bring the dog out to the bathroom, and the drawer just straight up ripped off. So we have exposed nails. So hopefully the repairman will be here in a couple days.
Nice.
Put
Yeah.
the drawer back on. Yeah. But okay, cool. Yep, I see
You
you're
know, hold
advancing.
on real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is important.
Mhm.
As part of our first live viewing experience, I'd like to give a shout out to one of mine and Chaz's ex teammates, Murph Turkleton, who last night literally had his Adam's apple broken by his dog.
What the
And I told him I'd shout
hell?
it out on the podcast, so here it is. Congratulations. I hope you're doing okay.
Jesus.
I didn't know that was
Poor
a
Murph.
I didn't know that was a bone. I thought it was just like hard cartilage or something.
It's cartilage, but like you can like crack it or split it or whatever. And he said he went to give his dog a hug, and it like jumped up and basically skull fucked him in the throat. So
Oh Christ! Can he talk right now? Like,
yeah, quietly.
okay. I would wonder what the doctors could do to that because they can't like put you in a neck cast or anything because it's not a bone, or I don't know what they do. They probably are just like, here's some ibuprofen, have fun.
Yeah, the funny thing is he's a doctor, so he literally just said, "Yeah, I'm just supposed to go to the ER if I can't breathe."
Okay.
That's all he can do.
Alrighty. Gotcha.
Okay, resume. That's it.
Okay, cool. End of your riveting story. Thank you for that. Yep. Sean, how you doing, man?
Hey, I've been doing pretty good. I quit the challenge, as I alluded to a little bit before. I got 2 champions in. It's funny I quit on Camille because I actually like Camille, but like I don't know what it was. Like there were like matchups I'd know it would be trash into, and I'd have to pick it into them, and I was just getting really mad about it.
Dude,
So I
last week
kinda
after you talking about a
yeah.
collie, I knew you weren't gonna make it much longer.
Dude, the collie was raw. I'm surprised I made it through that, honestly. But like, I guess it was a good experience at the end of the day. I don't feel like I learned a ton about it, but I haven't actually played an assassin that long for a while now. I'll give a quick shout out to all the boys watching. They're already giving me shit in chat. So Stanley and Hudson and Luna are already commenting, but so hopefully I don't look like a dumbass in front of them. I guess we'll see.
I'm
Wait,
sure
do we have Toomgus in chat?
Oh yeah, that's the big Toomgus. Do you know about Toomgus?
I do.
Like nobody knows about Toomgus.
do.
So
Unfortunately, I
you-
do.
You've got AM PMs in Memphis, huh?
I don't know who Toomgis or what Toomgis is. I feel like it could be some phenomena or it could be a random person's Discord name. I have no idea.
I mean, it's like a mascot for a gas station chain called AM PM in the South. My buddy Hudson changed his name to Toomgus in League. It's like this monstrosity, like giant thing made out of like fast food and like bags of chips, and like it's for too much good stuff. That's what Toomgus stands for. It's kind of funny. I
Why
don't know.
what in the world have we come to that gas station chains now have mascots? Ooh.
I don't know, man.
Go to
Ah,
Texas. Go to a Buc-ee's. Jesus.
what is
That's
he's
Buc-ee's?
common.
scary as hell, man. Like
Buc-ee's is
Hudson,
the greatest.
Is that like a fried chicken chain or something? Like what is it? Or steak or
No,
something?
dude. Well, next time you're in Georgia, when I come down, we'll make the short trip up. They opened one in Dalton.
Okay.
It is a gigantic gas station, but it's like an experience. It's not just a gas station.
Okay. I don't know
Right.
if I
Think
should
of-
be scared or excited, but I'm both. I'm ready for this.
Think of like, you know what Love's is, the travel stop?
I've seen signs. I've
Yeah.
never stopped, but I've seen
Okay,
signs
so
of it.
think of Love's, but like 50 times bigger and on steroids.
Sketchier or no?
No, very, very nice.
Okay.
Like very nice.
So we're not talking Ingles level grocery store. We're talking like the Publix of gas stations then. Okay.
We're talking like the Whole Foods of gas stations.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Okay.
We're getting real specific here.
Let me talk to you about Fresh Market now.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll stop at a Buc-ee's sometime then. That sounds great. I think I'm just going to miss you for when you move down because I'm going to be back before June, and I know you're moving sometime in June. So, yeah. But next time that I'm down there, we'll take the drive up and we'll have a nice evening in Buc-ee's. That sounded way worse than I intended it to. Never mind. Well, in any case, since I'm already talking, I'll just continue talking about myself because it's my turn. I've been good. It was finally warm enough this week to open the windows across my entire apartment, and I've done that the last couple of days. We hit 60s. I've been so excited. Now that I say that, I'm sure it's just going to pour rain and snow again because Midwest weather. But other than that, league's been good. I'm getting closer to being competent at Pike on Summoner's Rift, but I'm still tearing it up whenever I get him on ARAM. I had a 31-9 game a couple days ago on ARAM. It was kind of dumb, but
I agree. You died 9 times. That is very dumb.
I know, but I'm also super. I don't like. There's some. We'll be talking about this in a future pod, but there's some Pike changes that not the infinite scaling ult. They got rid of that, but some ways in which he shares gold that's going to get changed, and I don't like it. I mean, I know they're meant to do things to kick him out of solo lane, but it's going to really hurt Pike's gold income. So, not super interested about that. But league-wise, other than that, everything's been good. Played Clash on Sunday with some fellow listeners, and we lost the first 2 games, and we won the 3rd game by default because they left.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. We kind of got. It wasn't. We didn't get dumpstered in game 1. Game 2 we got dumpstered, but game 1 we didn't get dumpstered. It was just like we were doing fine into mid game, and then we couldn't hold on, so we just got outscaled and out rotated and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought I was stronger than I was on my tank lethal tempo Udyr, but oh well. Did you guys play Clash at all this weekend?
I ended up playing on Sunday. I played with some other community members as well, and we ended up going 2-1. We lost the second game, but we won the other 2. So
Nice, a solid 3rd place finish, making us proud. I like it.
I played both days.
Did you guys play together on Sunday or no, different?
No, different.
Okay.
Very, very different.
How'd you do on both of those days?
Saturday, I low-key kind of dominated the Rift a bit.
Just
we
a
got
subtle
third.
brag.
Yeah, we won our first 2 and then lost. Or no, we got second, sorry. We won our first 2 and then lost the third. And then Sunday we won our first, lost our second, and then they forfeited.
Gotcha.
So what is that? Is that third? I don't know.
Sounds about right. Yeah,
I
one
don't know.
lost, one by default. Yeah, that's third.
that's third.
Yeah. Yeah, so Seraphine is the GOAT.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. She's
pretty
the
good.
GOAT.
Gotcha. Well, I hope to see your Seraphine at some point soon. The only Seraphines I've seen recently have been very big letdowns.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Bomo plays it, it's a letdown, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out Bomo.
Yep.
Yeah. I was playing with some listeners or some other people, I think, on Monday or so, and we had oh no, it was community game night last night. It was when I was in a lobby of 2 with one other person, because there was 2 other 5 lobbies, and then we had a Seraphine in our mid lane, and she was pretty useless. But then again, I kind of ran it down. I had 3 deaths on Jarvan by 4 minutes, so I was support Jarvan. It didn't work.
Well, Seraphine mid
Yeah.
really works the best when you have Badger playing ADC, just absolutely shitting on everybody. So I just sit there and hit my R button, occasionally my W, and just rack up the assists. Infinite KDA.
Nice. Well, I'm glad everyone had fun with Clash, even if you all won more than I did. But let's get into the question of the week. It's been like 3 weeks or so, so I guess the question of the 3 weeks then, because we were going to cover it last week, but there was a huge patch that we had to cover. So our old question of the week was, what is your favorite skin in League and why? So we got a whole lot of responses about this one. Jiggly Duff said Lollipoppy, no reason needed. I have that skin. I find it kind of terrifying, I'll be honest. It's like nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I don't have that one, but I know which one you're talking about. That one is a little like, especially before they reworked her and she had the old art. It was a little bit terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, now it just looks a little out of place, but yeah. Force Conduit said, pool party misfortune, no reason needed. I guess he likes water guns. That would be the no
Yeah.
reason needed, right?
He something like that.
Yeah.
Cool floaties.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Aw-
he likes and guns have something in common.
Danbro69 said toss up between UB because the B skin lines are amazing and Yumi's adorable in it, and the best girl Guchin Sona because the splash and the in-game sounds. I can't say I don't know what Guchin Sona is. I mean, I've seen it, but I've seen it in like the splash art when it's fine, but I haven't seen it in game. Do you guys know that skin at all?
No,
Nope.
I've never seen it.
Okay. UB, very cool, I will say.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you like that one?
Jesterful said probably Temple Jax. It's the first skin that they bought, and Jaximus is a close second. Those are both good Jax skins.
Something tells me he's a Jax main.
I think so. Do you guys know the story behind Jaximus about why it was created and all?
Yes.
Gotcha. Kai,
You want to tell it?
Yeah, sure. I might as well, because yeah. But so it's. I may get some of the facts wrong, so correct me. But there was a kid who loved League, someone who was a terminally ill cancer patient, and he loved Jax so much, and I don't know how he got connected with Riot somehow, but they named the kid, or they did the skin in his, well, while he was still alive. They did it in his honor, and some of the voice lines that he has are things that this kid requested or said or stuff like that. So it's like an homage to him. It's sort of like a Make-A-Wish type of deal.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Bomo, the one who's not on tonight, said Demacia Vice Lucian, and the intro song every time when he loads up into Summoner's Rift gets hyped, and then he later linked it, and it would get me hyped too. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, those Demacia Vice skins are cool. I like the Garen one. I like that one as well.
Yep.
You got the same music going on. Yeah, those are pretty cool. That like 80s kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's very cool. And then some name in Cyrillic. I don't. Oh no, it's key MC, then upside down. It looked like it was Cyrillic afterwards. DJ Sona, and then also there's Ziggs player and likes Hextech, B Ziggs, and Arcanist Ziggs as well. So all of those. I will have to say, I played Ziggs for a while, and none of those are the best Ziggs skin. It is Mad Scientist Ziggs. That's the best Ziggs skin.
Yeah, I bet Force Conduit thinks Pool Party Ziggs is the best one though. Likes those pool floats, you know.
That'd be cool
Let's
if, like,
be honest here. None of them are better than Neon Strike Vi. We all know it.
or Mercenary Katarina's splash art is not subtle, I will say. I rolled, that's the skin I have for her, and I got her in an ARAM last night, and then I was like, I don't want to play Katarina, but it just popped up. I was like, oh, okay.
What skin? Let's
Mercenary Katarina. It's the
research.
It's the green and white Katarina.
Let's see. Hold on.
It's not very subtle.
Let's see here. Yeah, whoever likes the pool party misfortune probably would enjoy this skin as well.
But she doesn't have any water guns. That's why Force Conduit likes a pool party misfortune. That's why, of course.
Again, something that he likes and guns have in common. This skin has it too.
Yeah. On God says favorite skin in League has to be Storm Dragon Lee Sin. He likes it for a lot of the animations and the colors and stuff like that. I know that people hate that skin if they don't play Lee Sin because they can't tell what champion it is.
Yeah, everybody says it looks like Ezreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a good skin though. I do like that one. But...
Yeah, the animations are sweet, so I get it. But yeah. And then our very own Chaz said Mecha Rengar, specifically with the red-black chroma. So why do you like that one?
It's just, it looks cool, man. I don't know. It's kind of like my favorite color is red, so it's like a really cool looking red with like a black stripe down the middle. I just like the way it looks.
Okay, gotcha. Nice.
I don't play Rengar though, so I never get to use it.
Nice.
But I have it for one day.
Rescued said base skin Nico, and people have been commenting with the tomato reaction, which I'm also gonna do. That's great because Nico has stuff about that. Base skin Nico's pretty good, but I guess that is also kind of an homage that you can turn into anything on the Rift. So yeah, Mikey or Mickey Farr said silver kale because I will never get to own it as a kale main. It hurts my soul. That was one of the skins they gave out in beta, right?
Yeah, it's one of the like original ones that
Okay.
you can't. That's like no one has, I guess.
Yeah, I mean there are codes for some of them out there, but you have to pay obscene amounts of money to get them. Like you can buy a PAX Jax code, which Jesterful also was talking about that, but those I remember looking years ago and they're like $300 because you had to have gone to that pack or one of two PAXs in like 2011 to get that. So yeah.
John, what's your favorite
Yep.
skin? Tell us.
I'm a big fan of. It's the Tarot card line. Or Arcana Camille.
Oh,
It's like my
Arcana.
favorite skin. I'm like a big fan of splash art. It's like the actual skin itself is kind of trash. I don't like the skin itself, but I love the splash for that skin so much. That's like my favorite skin.
What is it? Arcana Camille?
Oh, yeah, she just looks so evil. Like she has like literally red eyes. I don't know. She's supposed to look like a queen, like a card queen.
Oh, that's sick.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
sick.
it's a sick splash.
The splash art's very cool for that one. It's not I mean, it's not a bad skin. I think she has better skins though. I think Program Camille's the best one for her. But then again,
I think
don't
one of the better recent ones is the Viego, the Dissonance of Pinnacle.
Ugh, no.
No, dude, that's a great skin.
I know people like it. I don't like it. Nope.
What?
Do you want me to say it again? I don't like it.
Well, you also brought up some kind of statement earlier that only Minnesotans know, so your opinion's not valid
ragamuffin?
there.
That's not that. That's just
Yeah.
something that like old people say that like, oh, you look like a rag. It's like something that a grandma would say. Like, you look like a ragamuffin. Get inside and fix your hair or something. I could hear like my grandma saying that to me.
Well, maybe if you wouldn't put a hat on when your hair's wet, you wouldn't look like a ragamuffin.
I put the hat on because my hair looked like a ragamuffin, sir. But
Well,
yep. Next one is the Bard said. Oh, actually, he didn't put one in. Oh, it says if one does not understand the need for skins, could that be an age thing? I'm guessing. I don't super know. That's not actually a skin. Svenny said the better Sven Jungle said Snow Day Bard because you're a penguin in his magical tunnel. I didn't know that. That's so cool. I didn't know that like things changed. I thought because you just became like, you know, the orbs like you do in the normal when you're in like Bard's base skin, everyone becomes a big sphere when they're going through the tunnel. That's super cool. So, and then that was the end of that. But cool. Kaib, what's your favorite skin, man?
what do you mean? I've already named two of them.
Okay.
Neon Strike Vi
Oh,
and
right.
Dissonance of Pentakill Viego.
Okay.
Jesus.
That's sorry. Okay, my bad. Those are good. I would say mine is it's not any champion I play that often, but Blight Crystal Varus. It's just got such a sweet. Oh, the contrast makes it easy to see everything, but it's just I don't know. I just love that skin. Varus is one of the few champions that I will contest does not have a bad skin. That's what I will say.
Yeah, I like his skins. I mean, I don't play him that much, but yeah, they're pretty good.
Cool.
It's a cool champ design in general. So
Yeah, very cool. So that's the end of those. But we have so for the next question of the week, which I will post in the Discord, who do you think will win MSI and why? So Chaz, who do you think is going to win MSI and why?
probably SKT, or I guess T1, because of Faker. There you go.
Okay,
Where's my scientific explanation?
nice. Kaib, who's winning MSI and why?
If it was on LAN, T1. But the fact that they're fucking everybody and making them play on 35 ping, the Chinese have an advantage because they're used to it. So RNG, the Kings of Spring.
Okay, gotcha. Sean.
I don't pay a ton of attention to like international play. I really only watch LCS, but I did hear T1 had like a perfect season or whatever, so I'm just gonna go with them.
Okay, yeah, they sure did. Didn't win every individual match because there's best of threes, but yeah, they went 18-0, and I guess 20. If you include the playoffs, they won their 2 series there as well. So, yep. Okay, cool. I will say I really want T1 to win. I'm a T1 fan, but I kind of agree with you, Kaib, that the internet's going to be an issue because they literally, like, the Koreans never play on a higher ping unless they're playing for some games on the Chinese super server, or if they're, visiting North America, because then they get 50 ping at the minimum or something like that. So, yeah, I don't think they will win, but I really hope they do. That'd be sweet. So, and then everyone, share your thoughts about that and who you think will win. So, yep. On to the main content tonight. Sean, you want to talk about champ pools and stuff. Why don't you lead us into it, man?
Sure. So this is just a quick idea I had. I know I talk about it pretty much every week on the podcast, so I'm constantly changing champions, and I mean, I personally get really bored of playing like the same role in the same.
roll.
Oh yeah, and
Okay,
roll. Yeah,
okay.
that's probably honestly worse. Like if I was just changing champions in the same role, I'd probably be actually getting a lot better. But like, it's like a huge problem for me where I just get like bored of a role, or like I think I do better, or I have like a bad streak in a role, and then I'll want to change role. So I mean, I guess I'd like to hear from. It was more for like me to hear from you guys from how you stick on the same champions and the same roles and like what you're looking for. But I had some like questions in here too. I'd like to go through and go a little more in depth with it too. Was um like what you look for in champions' abilities, how much like aesthetic and skins matter to you, and then like what archetypes you play, like tanks or assassins or whatever. So I was kind of thinking just do like round table, go through and get everyone's.
Sure. So,
Like,
who do you want to start with, and which of those questions do you want to start with?
um, I don't care. Dude, you can go, Eric.
Okay.
You're kind of the host.
Sure. So about like what do I look for in I guess what do I look for in a new champion when they're coming out, if I like them or not, or a rework. So um I'm not well, first off, if they're ranged, there's not a high chance I'm gonna play them. I'm not a ranged character person. When I play League, I like melee for the most part. And when I play other games that are combat related, I'm usually playing somewhat of like a Juggernaut style Hulk. It's very simple. When I play Skyrim, I'm an orc. I pop Berserker Rage and I run in there and swing around some axes. I'm very simple. I'm a very simple person. So when I read like Samira's kit, it doesn't interest me in the slightest. There's too much to read, and she's ranged. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of really complex interactions that I don't want to spend the time to get to know and get really good at. So not interested. So like another champion be like Riven, even though she's melee, there's too much complexity that I just don't want to dedicate the time to really learn all the auto cancels and everything like that. It takes hours and hours and hours for people to really get that down. I'm not interested. I also don't like champions that thematically that fall off super early. So that's why I don't play Elise in the jungle. That's why I don't play Nidalee. Nidalee is also very mechanically intensive and stuff too. So I don't play her for that reason as well. But Pantheon as well. Like I wish he was better because he's got such a cool lore, and his whole like I like the champion design, but once you get, after second recall, Pantheon is absolutely fucking useless. So I don't want to, unless you're playing him in support before, then that makes sense. But like I don't like champs that get outscaled very easily. So a lot of the time when I'm playing champions, I'm playing Lilia. Lilia is technically ranged, although she has 375 range. I figured out she is actually ranged because I wanted to see how Death Dance worked with her, but it doesn't work well. She gets the range benefits or range stuff when she's not really ranged. But in any case, she's kind of like a bruisery battle mage or so. I prefer to play her a little bit tankier than playing her like straight glass cannon. And she allows for some creativity with how you're weaving your abilities and some kite ability, and also allows for like enhanced team player, so you can coordinate with people like, hey, I'm going to try and get in and get an ult, and then people understand they need to pile in. As opposed to if you're playing, I don't like the one on my own one man army as well style of play. That's just not who I am. So that's one reason I like her as well. Like I play Rammus because he's extremely simple. He has very clear strengths and weaknesses on build paths and stuff. I can play him situationally when I want, that sort of stuff as well. Same with Poppy when I play her. Like these champions are always useful throughout the game, even if they get behind. I play Jarvan, which is potentially the least useful as time goes on, but if you can hit EQ flash and you can use an R and you have a Zanya's or a stopwatch or something, you're always useful. There's other champions I mix in as well, like Kha'Zix will scale up to be a monster. He's pretty weak early. Viego scales up well. I could keep going, but those are the champs I like. There's not a ton of complexity a lot of the time with them. And there's not a ton of mechanical intensiveness as well. The only ones I would say that are against that trend would be Kiana. She's pretty mechanically intensive, especially when you're trying to micro a jungle clear, because her jungle's been nerfed several times and for good reason. But that, and then Ezreal, if you can't hit your skill shots, then you're useless. And I play a pretty aggressive Ezreal, so I need to hit my skill shots. Played Prowler's Claw Ezreal last night into a bunch of challengers. Somehow we were in that, but we almost won. It was a valiant effort. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking archetype-wise. I'm thinking most of the time not ranged. I'm thinking not get outscaled super easily because I don't want to have to be on a timer. That puts a lot of stress on you. And then I also don't want to, I want to have it not be crazy complex for the most part. Those are like the main things I look for.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That was a very in-depth explanation, Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, as far as like the archetype, generally I like to play range champions. I mostly play AD champions, so they're pretty much all ADCs, marksmen. Most of my champions that I've ever played have been that archetype. I initially started out like as a support main, so I played a little bit of like the hook type for a while. I really liked the Thresh and the Nautilus and those types, Blitzcrank. But then I moved over to ADC, and now I just kind of focus on like I like the crit style of marksman more than like I guess the lethality version. But I'll kind of play whatever is strong at the time, generally speaking. But right now, like my main is Jinx, and then like Caitlyn. I mostly play like the ADCs that have like the longest attack range. So that's kind of generally, I guess, my archetype that I like to play. I stay away from kind of like what you said, Eric, as far as like highly intense champions as far as mechanics. There's a couple that I like to play that I just think are fun, and I don't play them to actually try and do well necessarily, but I just play them for fun sometimes, like Lee Sin and um, I don't know if I even play any more other than Lee Sin, but maybe Ezreal's high mechanics, but uh, so like I think generally speaking, I just like marksman that you can sit back and kind of auto attack with, and then that kind of allows me to focus on. The reason I like that is because it allows me to like focus on a lot of the other elements of the game. I'm not really thinking as much about like what I have to do because it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So yeah, that's generally what I look for.
I definitely just to go off of that, I definitely resonate with that because that's why as well I like to stay away from crazy complex champions. Is then I'm you're almost on autopilot with your mechanics for the most part. You don't have to think about that. You can think about for me like jungle pathing and then seeing where I need to help waves and timers on things and paying attention to stop and help a lot of aggression. And for you, it's a lot of wave management, it's trading patterns, it's things like that. That I totally agree. It's you free up your mind much more easily.
Yeah, like the trade with Jinx, in lane, a lot of it is just press Q to turn on your rockets and auto attack people from further away than they can hit you, right? That's your trading pattern with Jinx. So just walk up and auto a couple times and walk back. It's like it's so yeah. I like these very simple. When I play top, I play Garen. So like yeah, it's I don't know. I kind of like the simplicity for sure. What about you?
Um, so before when I was playing jungle, I feel like most of my champions were pretty similar in the sense that they were all bruisers. Like the occasional crit Viego or like same thing with Xin Zhao, but for the most part they were all bruisers. Maybe tank depending on the meta. For our for our audio listeners, Sean and Eric are having a great old time because they both just turned on their blue LED lights.
Sure did. Hold on, I can. You keep talking. I'm gonna mute myself and go turn on another light as well, so people can see.
Okay. But in mid, I just play like a lot of mages, honestly, like Victor, Lux, Vex, stuff like that. A lot of scaling stuff. It's like quirky stuff like that. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with mid. I just play it if I think it's fun. I'm probably like the
Gotcha.
worst person
What
to ask about this.
what kind of things, I guess, do you consider to be fun? Like what? I don't, because I know like Sean feels very strongly about what he thinks is fun and what's boring. He was with like Akali and stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you kind of look for? What do you think of something as like being fun?
So in the jungle, I think every single one of the champions that I played, like I would not play it if it didn't have some kind of a jump or a dash. And I don't know if that made it more fun or made it more viable, felt stronger. I don't really know. But in mid lane, I don't really know. I think it's just if I like the champion, and I don't know what makes me like them. But like I would say for Victor, I like being able to just blow someone up or blow up 3 people if they group with 1 R. Vex kind of same deal. Get a good R, W, EQ, triple kill. I don't know. Each one's got their own like differences that I like, but I don't really think any of them are all that similar. It's not like I'm playing Victor, Oriana, Azir, Syndra. Then you could just say, oh, the classic control mages. But
So if I
Yeah.
could make an observation about when I play with you, both in mid and jungle or senior champ pools, a lot of the time I think that you like to have power in wombo comboing or like team fight ability. You kind of value being able to like make an impact with a team fight as opposed to, there are champions that are not designed for team fighting, they're designed for split pushing. Like Fiora is not a good team fighter. So I don't think that you would find her as fun as some comparable split pusher that was able to do more team fight impact. That's like my observation.
See, that's
Does that
where
make
you're
sense?
wrong, Chaz. Chaz, tell them about my Fiora. Come on.
You're not wrong, Eric. He does suck at those types of champions. No, his Fiora was, yeah, it was something.
I will take a Herald with 1 health remaining, even if they're at our Nexus. I don't care. It will save the game. But yeah, I would say you're right. I like to team fight more than like playing a split push or pick comp. Hence the Volibear, Vi, Viego, Hecarim. Those were primarily my junglers, and then I'm playing a lot of Victor, Vex, Lux, Yone. But like apart from Victor, I guess you could say the other 3 are pretty good at like getting picks, but they're also really good in team fights. Seraphine's a big one. Yeah, Seraphine is probably the biggest like team fighter that I play.
Victor, also fantastic team fighter if you can position well.
We do love Vicky.
Last night or a couple nights ago, I saw someone mess up the Seraphine R flash. They hit R and then flashed after it was already like halfway through. So that was
I did that the other night in Clash twice in one game, but it's okay.
Oh no.
Still went 3-0 and 13. It's all good.
Fucking Seraphine. Okay. Gotcha. Sean, did we cover that question? Did you have like follow-ups at all, or you want to move on to the next of the questions you drafted?
I mean, I didn't really talk about myself, but I can do it quick, I guess.
Yeah, Sean, we'd love to hear from you.
Would we?
Yeah. I guess mine's kind of a cluster, like I kind of mentioned. I don't really like. There are definitely champions I gravitate towards. Like,
Well, first, how do you decide which role you're playing for the week?
Magic
Or
8
for
Ball.
the
I don't
day.
know, man. I
For the
jumped through a bunch
day.
of different hoops in my mind, like trying to think of like what I think in general, like the most thing I think about is like how to win the game easiest. Because the way I look at League is that if you're losing, you're gonna have a bad time regardless. Like you can be playing with your friends and like trying to still have fun, but if you're getting shit on, it's still never gonna be a fun game. So like I'm always trying to think about like what would be like the easiest way for me to win consistently. And I don't know. Like I think a lot of times it's like top and then I constantly just change it up. I feel like the easiest way to do it would be to just main like a couple champions and yeah, Eric, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, this is what
Just
I do.
interrupt him. Just
No,
interrupt him. Come on,
I don't
do
want.
it.
This is what I do. Even like when I'm in like work meetings and stuff, I raise my hand, so it's my self mechanism
Yeah.
for not interrupting people.
Wait. Were you a teacher's pet?
No, I was
Hmm.
not. But
The
no,
raising your finger in a Discord call really gives me teacher's pet vibes.
I just find it rude to interrupt people, and if I don't have that mechanism, I've found that I just speak over people. So it's my coping mechanism for that.
So you're a teacher's pet and an asshole.
No, I don't
Who's
talk over.
a reforming asshole because you're trying not to do that.
I don't even know if I want to share what I had to say anymore. I actually forgot now as well, so that's fun.
Please continue. I
No,
apologize.
I forgot.
No, but yeah, I definitely gravitate towards late game scaling champions, but I'll still play like early game champions too. Like I really like Kled. That's the only one I can think of right now.
You do like Kled. You appeared on the League of Loreheads Kled episode of their podcast, which
I
you can go and
did.
check out. It's the Kled episode that our boy Sean was on. It's a great episode. Go and listen.
No.
Subtle plug there.
Speaking of Sean, I'd like to share some listener comments from the chat here.
Oh, no.
We've got Stanley
No,
Steven
don't
here.
do it.
Oh,
Don't
no.
do it. It's his
Sean's
copy
favorite
class.
household cleaning device is the Hoover high performance swivel upright vacuum.
No, you're gonna dox me a bit here. I'd prefer you don't.
It is his favorite because it's easy to navigate around and under furniture. Also, it's able to reach those tight corners. It comes with a 10 amp motor that has the power you need for a good clean. Comes with another max life filter to keep your vacuum running like new longer. And it's able to use on any type of floor, making cleaning that much easier. The vacuum shares a name with President Hoover, which Sean likes because Hoover was able to secure funds to build the Hoover Dam. Sean works at a dam. Thank you, Stanley.
Well,
Yeah,
who knows
that's
how much of
that's a
that we can
Sean
actually
thing.
believe there, because that sounds like a made-up thing for a made-up vacuum. But appreciate that titillating read of chat there, Kaib.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Stanley posting his Sean facts that he came up with forever ago. That's an old one. He used to do them quite a bit, but he's got a couple more. I wonder if he'll put them in the chat here.
Okay, well, if he does, we may or may not read them. We don't have to read them to entertain that. But Sean, what was the next sort of thing you want to talk about with champ pools?
I guess like how much like you guys think like aesthetic and like champion design matters? Because I honestly like I think it's like a big deal. Like if you put like Annie's kit on like a different champion, I'd probably play that champion like every single game. But I don't want to play Annie because it's a little girl and it like feels weird to me. So I
Interesting.
guess I don't know. I guess like how much does aesthetic mean to you guys?
So when you said design, do you mean kit design or champion design?
I think I had both in there. I guess uh start with like appearance and like lore or whatever.
So
And like skins for the champion.
for me, the only thing that you said that I care about is the champion kit. Like I mentioned earlier, specifically for jungle, if it has a jump, I'll probably play it. If it doesn't, I probably won't play it. And that's pretty much it. I don't really care what they look like, what their lore is. Couldn't give two shits.
I care a little bit. I don't think I care that much. Like, I definitely don't care about the lore. The lore doesn't matter to me at all in this game, really. But as far as like the overall aesthetic, though, of the champion, I guess like sometimes that comes into play. I think about like Tristana as an example, only because like I find playing her, like her autos feel really weird to me, and like it's a champion I like to play because I like the kit and I like what she does in general, but then like she doesn't really feel great to play sometimes just because I don't know. I also don't like just the look of it all. So sometimes that matters to me, but for most champions, I just don't care. It's more about just like, are they the play style that I like, which is, like I said, kind of long range ADCs.
So I care more about some of those things. Okay, so I would say I used to care what their champion lore is. I like the lore. I follow the lore, but right now, since the major lore rework, I think around season 5 or so, it's like 7 years ago, there was a divorce of the lore and the game. So what's happening in the champions lore is actually no longer relevant to what it is. But I uh, but before I did like it because the lore would surround around their reasoning for going to fight in the summoner's arena. So Maokai was in his old lore was coming in and fighting for all those basically to like fight the deforesters or stuff like that. Like, it was and to fight the Shadow Isles and the people that corrupt the natural land, which is pretty cool. But like Jax just wanted to be the best warrior, and so he was fighting people like that. Now they have different lore, which is very cool. So, but it's divorced, so I don't care about the lore for when I pick champions. I don't care as much about appearance that much, although I will say I just kind of shy away from the quote unquote sexy characters that Riot released of, like a solid 2 years of sexy characters. We're talking all the way from like Kaisa through up until the last one that they didn't hit was the one before Vex. I think Viego was right before Vex, but a lot of those were what was like Necrit terms the sexy characters. So there's lots of those, and a lot of the skins revolved around that, and showing six packs or cleavage and things like that. And I just don't It's
You
not
don't like
generally.
Misfortune's pool party skin?
I like the water guns. That's why I like the skin. Come on, man.
That's interesting.
But I don't. That's not something that I really go for. Like, I don't play Set that much, and I don't think it's mostly because of his appearance, but maybe a little bit of it subconsciously is. Like, as I
Are you
said,
body shaming him?
nope. I'm saying that he can stay in his own domain, and I will stay in my lane there. But I would say, like, I mean, if you think about the champ pool that I said that I play through, like, okay, Kha'Zix, that's a monster. Okay, I play Lilia, kind of like a centaur monster. Okay,
Some
very,
people would say Lily is a sexy centaur.
and they're entitled to their opinion.
So you don't think she is?
I'm not going to comment on anything like that.
In turn, you're body shaming her by saying she's not a sexy centaur.
Sure, you want to say that I'm body shaming a fictional character? Go ahead.
That's crazy, dude.
I
Canceled.
know. I'm a terrible person. Gosh, I'm no longer the host of the Trinity Force podcast.
Bring the ban hammer down.
But I play Poppy and Rammus and Jarvan and Xin Zhao a little bit, but I guess Kane is kind of a cringe lord and like that sort of, yeah. But I just don't really care that much about appearance. But I guess my champ pool has naturally coincided away from that. Like Fiddlesticks, I love Fiddlesticks. A lot of the monsters and stuff. Tom Kench is fun. All the demons, very cool. So it's a lot more of the not the lore specifically, but like the sort of story that they fill in there. Like, have you designed like an electric champion? Now we have Zeri. That's very cool. I think I don't like playing Zeri, but the sort of ideas of characters that I play or that I like, those are the ones I tend to play. Is what I'm thinking there. Kit design also matters, as we talked about earlier, and how I went into depth about that. But as to those other points that you brought up, I just addressed those, so I care somewhat. But yeah. Was that detailed enough for you, Sean?
Yeah, you do give very in-depth answers, Eric. I'd say for me, it does definitely matter. I'd like to believe it doesn't, but at the same time, like I mentioned before, like I like Annie's kit, and I know like everybody recommends her as a good champion to learn on, but I can't play a champion because of the design of her and her appearance. I'd say in general, I like evil champions. Jin's like my main, and he's pretty bad evil reincarnate, I guess. I don't know. And like mid lane, I play like Victor, Malzahar, And the other thing I tend to trend towards is like big, like beefy boys, like Ornn and like tanks or like monster champions. So they're not even gonna make any more of any, like, because I'm guessing that it's like harder for them to make skins for them, and they probably don't sell as well. Like Aurelian and Scar comes to mind. They're talking about Scar in the chat. I've got to remind the podcast too that I'm kind of being trolled by my friends this whole time. I'm kind of geeking out. If you see me like laughing, it's probably because they're saying something stupid in chat.
Yeah, they
But
have been saying random, sometimes mostly false Sean facts and other things like that. I mean, it's
Is it
entertaining,
time
but
for
yeah.
another Sean fact dealing with the university, Oregon State University?
God.
Shall we share?
Yeah, go for it, Kai.
Okay. So Stanley provided us some more information. Sean's favorite university is Oregon State University.
Are they the
Oregon
Ducks? Are they the
is
Ducks?
located in Corvallis. No, they're not. That's Oregon.
Oh, same thing.
Oregon State is located in Corvallis, Oregon, which is 90 minutes from Portland and only 1 hour from the Pacific Ocean. They are also only one of 2 schools in the nation to have a Sea Grant, Space Grant, and a Sun Grant. Oregon State is ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world by U.S. News and World Report. Their mascot is the Beavers, which Sean likes because beavers are most known for their dam building, and Sean works at a dam, so it all makes sense.
Interesting
Thank you,
fake
Stanley.
facts again by Stanley. Thank you very much.
That's the punchline of all the Sean facts, is that I work at a dam, which I do work at a dam. Docks me a little bit here, but yeah, I don't. It's a weird job. I'll say that. I don't know what else to talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about more in depth on another episode, but we're pretty deep here, so.
Yeah. So I have a Sean. Was that the last of the things that you were going to cover, Sean?
Let me check the thing quick.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I guess, like, what do you look for in like a kit? Like, I know Chaz said he like only really likes 80 carries that have like an escape option, which doesn't mean as much for me. I'd say most of the 80 carries I play are pretty immobile, and like,
Well, for me, it's more
offense.
about having range. Like, I like the ones that not necessarily escape. Like, I like Jinx a lot because she has like really long range, or Senna. But yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. I guess that doesn't really make much of a difference to me. Like, I think Ashe is like one of my favorite 80 carries, and she's pretty immobile and pretty up close. And like Varus is probably another one of my favorite
Interesting.
carries. So I guess, what are you guys looking for
Interesting.
in a champion kit?
In ADCs, I will say that I don't like playing a lot of ranged champions, but in ADCs, I'll say, like, Varus is fine. I'll play him, sure. I only like to play Jhin when I play Jhin mid. I don't like to play Jhin bottom lane. I get dumpstered when I do it, so I don't like it. Ezreal, I'm totally competent at bot lane. I'm pretty decent at it, so that'd be about it. But, like, Kindred, I find a lot of fun. Not to play in jungle, but I like Kindred top. That's a lot of fun. Or Kindred ADC, I've done some too, but like playing her in lanes versus playing her in the jungle. I mean, she's not designed that way, but it's a lot of fun there. Overall, for like champion kits and things, I'm not looking for excessive healing. I'm not looking for supportive abilities. I'm looking more for, a lot of the time it's, I don't care so much if they have dashes as long as there's like crowd control associated with it. Like I played a lot of Nunu, I play a lot of Rammus, and Poppy. These champions don't have dashes, or Poppy does, but only at someone in a wall. But Rammus, no dash, other than his ultimate is like a fly or a launch, a catapult, whatever the technical terminology would be. But they don't really have dashes. I'm fine with that. I like to be able to peel, and I really like, if I'm playing in a coordinated environment, I'm playing like in higher elo where it exists, like I'm totally cool to sit there in the front, stop the enemies engaging, and just kind of be a giant beef ball. And that's, I love doing that. So when they release like Vex, I played her a couple times so I can understand her kit. I might play her in ARAM occasionally. Does not interest me in the slightest because she's very one-dimensional. She gets outscaled as well, and just it's not my thing there. Lilia, different sort of style. That's when I turn on like the power farming, and if I feel like I want to carry and stuff, I'll throw on some lo-fi music and play some Lilia, and it's great. But I don't know, like Viego, good because he's got a couple of forms of crowd control, and he's got some damage, and he's got some slipperiness as well. Um, shoot, I don't know. When I used to play old fiddlesticks a lot more than I play new fiddlesticks. I played middle sticks for a season, and people can look it up. I had over 110 games at a 70% win rate in mid, but subtle brag. But there you basically just cue people for the fear, and you throw out the crows, and they silence people over and over again, and it's just great. Like, I enjoy being a nuisance. That's what I'd like to say. Like, I'm not going to flame people, but I enjoy being a nuisance as Lilia running around and hitting people with abilities, and I can almost picture like the Wii Sports music in my head where it's going like dun 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 dun, dun and I'm like running around hitting my cue, and just it's so peaceful to me. Like, I enjoy being a nuisance, but not being like toxic at the other people with it. Just letting them in their own minds kind of melt a little bit.
Interesting. I also really like champions personally that can like get pentakills pretty easily. Or like multi kills. So that's another reason why I like Jinx. Or like Misfortune, because you just lay your R down and get like literally a pentakill off of that. Um, that's also kind of why I don't like champions like Ashe or Sivir. I guess like more utility based as much, just because like they don't pop off as hard. I really like to do a lot of damage and like be the carry when I play League. So
Speaking of getting pentas and doing the damage, as I was looking through, Chaz, you got a pentakill in Clash 3 days ago. Tell us about that. It was on
sure.
Misfortune. If I
Yeah,
need to jog your
the
memory at
enemy
all.
team was walking towards me and they overcommitted and I pressed R and they literally all died. That's the clip. I mean, I pressed ER and 4 of them died, and then I walk forward and press E on the last one and he dies too.
So the team comp that he went lethality. The team comp he was facing was Gnar top, Ivern jungle, Katarina mid, and Xayah Lux bottom lane. So all quite squishy. If Gnar was in his mini farm, which I assume he was.
No, he megaed in, tried to ult me, but he missed. And then he hit 2 people on my team, which caused his team to like jump in for the follow up. And then I just ulted them all while they were going in on my team, and they all died because they were all squishy.
Gotcha.
That was it. It was very impressive. I mean, I just pressed R, but it was cool. I mean, I got a penta, so I had to clip it, But yeah, it was fairly simple mechanically.
Nice.
Yep, those are always fun. So yeah, those are the types of champions I like. I guess like big damage. I like long range, big damage kind of champions. Like even Misfortune kind of plays into that because like your R has so much range on it that like you can stand really far back and just press R. So like yeah, I don't know, just that type really synergizes well with my I guess playstyle in general.
Gotcha. Okay.
We'll do Kai. This the last, or I could do mine too, but we'll let Kai go first.
What's the question?
What do you look for when you're looking at champion kits? Like what draws you to a champion?
Jungle, jumps, dashes, movement abilities. But in mid, I don't know, because my 2 favorite are Victor and Seraphine, and they don't have any movement abilities unless you count Seraphine's W or Victor's upgraded Q. But even that's only like a 30% movement bonus. So
And
honestly, I don't really know for mid, but for jungle, if they have dashes and
But you're pretty
jumps,
new to mid still, right? Like you're kind of still figuring out your pool, I feel like.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why.
I would say something mid. I think every single one of the champions that I play has some sort of self peel or some chance to self peel.
Yeah, they're both like those 2 champions are very safe, like
Yeah.
Victor and Seraphine, because they have so much range too.
yeah, a lot of the ones as I'm looking through your match history, like they fit what you're saying. There's Galio, there's Vex, there's Victor, there's Lux, TF. There's a lot of Victor actually, but Ari, there's a couple games, there's some Seraphine as you're saying, and that's about it. There was a game of Kale, which did not go well.
No, it didn't.
Yep.
I really like the new Swain though.
Yeah, it's
The
kind
new
of
Swain
gross.
is fun.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. I saw it when I was watching. I watched a mid beast video when he actually was playing Zoe and he faced Faker, who was playing the new Swain, and I think they ended up winning. Like he ended up beating Faker and his team, and the other people they were queued with. But it was a bitch to bring him down. It was kind of nasty. So
Yeah. I guess I'd say for me, I'm always kind of looking for champions that aren't completely useless when they fall behind. That's a big thing that bothers me. I think it's part of the reason why Kali bothered me so much, because that champion is completely useless if you get behind. So like I always play more utility focused champions or like team fight focused champions. So I guess that kind of makes them late game too. But like I play at like Ashe and Jhin, AD carry, like tanks top lane usually, or like bruisers that are kind of better at team fighting, like Camille. And like Jax are like slightly better at team fighting than like something like a Garen, I would say, or like a Tryndamere. And I don't know, like jungle it's like similar, like tanks and like I don't know. I'd say just in general, I'm looking for like champions that have like a good CC that like even if you get behind, you can still drop it in a team fight and be useful and just not be completely useless, because I think in my mind that puts a lot of stress on me if like I play like that's probably why I don't play assassins at all, because they're kind of notorious for that, where if you fall behind and don't get kills, it's going to be very hard for you to play a team fight right and just not instantly die or be completely useless.
So I totally get you. That's one reason I like Kiana, is because she's always relevant. She can always either kite people out with the grass blade Q, or she can always get a root with the water blade Q, and she can ult as well. So she can even if she has literally no items, she can turn a fight with a flash E ultimate or so, and that's even if you won't do much damage relatively, but you'll do lots of CC, and your team should be able to turn at least some of that fight around, assuming you're not crazy far behind. But I agree with you for sure. That's why I don't like playing a lot of other assassins, but I think that's one reason maybe that why I've drifted towards Kiana.
Yeah, no, like a good Kiana ult is crazy. I think yesterday we were playing a game where we had like a Kiana support. We were just kind of shitting on it from the start of the game, like, oh, Kiana support, like this is so useless. And then like later in the game, he hit like a 4-man like stun on his ult, and we're like, holy shit, it actually did something and like actually turned the game for us. It was pretty crazy.
Wah, 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 wah. Thank you, Hudson, for your subscription. Tier 1. We love that.
Absolutely.
Sean, please continue.
No, I was under my story anyways.
Yesterday in community night, I was playing with some other people. We had a 5-stack, and I remember that we had a Endeavor was playing Alawi up top, and then we had like they had a Jace, and I don't remember who the jungler was. I think it was a Xin Zhao maybe, and their mid laner roamed over as well. But it was like a 2v3, and he got a whole bunch of damage down. Oh no, he was playing Urgot actually, and they chunked me out, and so he was like fighting them 1v3, and he was kind of like, we talked about it afterwards. He was thinking like, oh, I wanted to go in. Did this other guy not want to go in? Meaning me, because I was chunked out already, but I was waiting for like the right opportunity. Then like a flash E, pull all three of them into the Kiana ult, into the wall around the bot side blue, and we ended up getting all three. He got the triple kill, and it was pretty sweet. I ended up going basically support Kiana that game because I was like 4-2 and like 15 or something, which I've not hardly had that long. I was 0-0-6 through the first like 10 minutes. So,
do you take Umbreglaive on Kiana? I know they buffed it on this last patch. Is it any good on her?
Yeah, I mean it's great on anyone that uses lethality. I would recommend for the most part I mean, maybe not like if you're in a solo lane so much and you don't want to roam, like Jace probably shouldn't go it, but when I play Pike support, I get Umbreglaive first. When I played Kiana, I ended up recalling on like 3,000 gold because there were constant fights going on, so I just finished my Eclipse and then built into it second. But it feels great because she has the mobility to hop around and destroy wards, and yeah, it feels really good. I mean, I built Umbreglaive before when it was 100 gold more expensive and there was a 10-second difference, but I don't, for some reason, this buff made it so everyone was building Umbreglaive. Before, it was still good. It's just that it wasn't super efficient. Now it's even more efficient. I don't know. It's very good, though. It feels good, to answer your question, yes.
It felt pretty good on Graves. I played a game of Graves Jungle the other night. I think it was with Sean.
You Graves jungle abuser. Oh my god. I hate
No,
Graves so much.
I just figured I'd try it out because the group we were playing with in community night, I just jumped in and played a game of jungle and figured I'd try out the Umbral Glaive Rush. Felt all right. I mean, I've never been a big fan of Lethality Graves though. I always liked the Shield Bow Bloodthirster IE build better.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I don't face Graves because I permaban him whenever I'm jungling, so I haven't seen a Graves in months. But I know that it's extremely strong. I don't like Graves. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's.
I've tried the
Sorry, go ahead.
I've tried
Sorry,
that
go ahead,
build too. I really like lethality graves a lot more than squishy graves and like 80 carry graves. And Umbral is like it's like cheap as hell, right? It's like
I think it's
Yeah.
20. I think it's
2600.
23 because it's in line with the other support
It's
items.
23.
I think it's 23.
It's just like insanely cheap. Like that, I'm pretty sure that's why everybody's just rushing it right now. But I mean, it's a good item. It's funny on graves too, because like for killing pinks, it takes away like 3 health off a pink instead of 1 when you have it. That's kind of weird. And it helps graves clear pinks, which is like really annoying on them. It's just like a little buff from it, but I like the build. I was trying like a little bit of graves jungle.
Yeah, Graves is good if you know what you're doing. I find it so insufferable to play. So, yeah. I just saw in the chat Hudson just asked, "What do we think about support Maokai?" I don't know. Someone who plays in the bot lane, Chaz. What do you think about support Maokai? Do you like playing with it? Do you like facing it? And what about the tank versus AP variants?
You never see it because Maokai's a dead champ. Unfortunately, I guess, for the Maokai mains out there, or fortunately for them, I don't know. But yeah, no one ever plays it. If it is played, it's normally the AP version, but it's not particularly strong. It just gives you like bush control, but I don't know. It's not that great, unfortunately.
Tank and AP
I
the
don't
same
mind
way?
playing with it. Tank, I never see tank.
Okay.
Yeah, I only really see like Imperial Mandate or like I guess Leandre's like full AP, but yeah, most people just go like full AP when I see it. And like the saplings, they do chunk. Like they'll take like half your health or more as like an ADC, but you just kind of have to like stay away from the bush, which yeah, I mean it zones you a little bit, but I don't think it's that great.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. That's like Hudson's like meme. He's been playing that. He became Toomgus. He changed his name, and then he plays AP support Maokai, who he calls Toomgus. It does kind of look like it. I guess he's kind of like a big beefy dude. But I've seen it pop off a handful of times. Like AP Maokai actually does a shitload of damage sometimes, and it's kind of crazy. It's one of those things where it seems like he's trolling, and then once in a while it'll pop off on it. It's like, oh, I guess he's not completely trolling.
Yeah, really good, like depending on the map. Like if you get like an ocean map too, where there's all those extra bushes, you can definitely take over like the jungle. Kind of like a Teemo, I guess.
Oh, Teemo.
Yeah, I mean saplings are like such a ridiculous skill to play against, just because you can't really counter them at all, other than just walking into them and like dashing out if you have that, or like running really quick. So I don't know. I should play a little bit more with it. I'm just like thinking of times Hudson did kind of pop off on it, but
Gotcha. Okay. One last question from the listeners, and then we'll start to wrap this up. So, possibly a shark asked, "Inting Scion, viable strategy or copying from top laners that hate other league players?" I don't quite understand, but I would say say it's no
That
longer
says
viable.
coping.
I think that they hate
Oh,
themselves.
I thought it was copying. So I'd say, yeah, it's not viable anymore, especially with the nerf coming in, the projected nerf coming next patch, which we would cover next week if it comes out officially. But
Well, it's definitely viable right now.
right now, yes, until the next patch, because they're going to reduce the zombie damage against structures or against, I think it said against objectives, so even Baron and Dragon and stuff and Herald, but it
Yeah, they're
was
also changing Hullbreaker so that it only does the bonus damage on attacks and not abilities. So like you can't do the boss special where you ult into the two Nexus towers and do damage to both of them. You like blow them both up at the same time with your ult,
yeah.
and then like backdoor the Nexus that way. So
Yeah. So between that and it's a 60 percentage point reduction. Like, yeah, like a shark said, 100 down, 100%. It was right on live servers. It is now. It's projected if they keep it the same, if they keep the change the same, to go down to 40%. That's a huge hit. So unless you're winning with Scion and lane, then it's not gonna be that useful anymore. So I don't know. I would say play it if you like it and if you
I
enjoy
mean,
it.
Tank Scion is still gonna be good though. Like,
Yeah.
that champ is still crazy good. Like, I don't think that it's gonna make him that much less viable.
If they wanted to actually get him out of viability, my thought is they should reduce the amount of health he gets from killing things with the Soul Furnace, the W. Like, because he stacks health
Yeah.
so
No, that's
crazily.
like that's like
Yeah,
a huge problem with it. I'll say
exactly.
like there's like a story behind this too. There's like a big streamer that's like a Scion one trick named The Boss FFS. If you play League, you've probably heard of him at least. He's one of the bigger streamers, and like he kind of like, I don't know if he started it, but he's like part of this like craze where like all like the big League streamers are going to Korea and just like trying to climb in solo queue there. So he was
Everyone's
like,
doing it now, too.
yeah, I mean Tyler One's doing it now, but like he was getting like 40K viewers a stream or some shit, and he was playing like this, and like when I've been playing top lane like the past like 2-3 weeks, and like you see a lot of Scion for one now, but a lot of people will do the strategy on like every champion now too, or at least every scaling champion. I played against a Kale that was doing the exact same shit. Where you basically just you farm as many minions as you can, you run into turret basically, and you're gonna get killed, but you're still just gonna scale eventually. And it's exactly what happened. I probably like solo killed the Kale like 5 or 6 times within like the first like 20 minutes of the game. And like the game ended up going to like 40 minutes, and the Kale still just solo carried the game because it was late game Kale, and she just kept doing that. It feels very, very bad to play against because it feels like you're just killing them and you're not getting much out of it.
That
Isn't the like main point of it like you want to shove a wave, get your demolish proc, and then you want to go proxy it as close to their base as you can, like their tier 3, right? Don't you want to do that and die around there ideally so that the wave never catches up and gets to your tower before you're able to get back to lane so they can't ever take plates?
I think the idea is like if you're going to die, you might as well clear the wave and make it like you're saying, make it so that it crashes before you do die. So if you see a gank coming, instead of running, you run towards the wave, you clear the wave with all your abilities, and then you just die. Right?
Just
You
make
just kind
sure
of
that they can't go get a plate, basically.
yeah. So you prevent them from being able to push because you're clearing the wave. And Scion does that like especially well because even if you kill him, he comes back in zombie form and then he just hits the wave and that clears it and now you can't push on him. And then especially early game with death timers, they start right when you die. So, he comes out of zombie form, is immediately alive again and can teleport. And so like it's just really hard to like ever push in Scion all the way. And then because of his like resurrection or whatever, you can also farm and like push out the wave even if you die. So I think that's really where like his strength comes from. And then like the Umbral Glaive, or is it not Umbral Glaive, Prowler's Claw. The
Yep.
Prowler's Claw uh like you said, domination or demolition, like proc, like build, just makes it so you just literally wreck towers in like one hit. And then, you can just, even if you die, it doesn't matter because you just took their whole base.
I just hate how you can. I don't think that when you're in zombie form, you should be able to use items.
agreed.
Like he can Prowler's Claw someone, and he's got that increased damage already, and then Prowler's Claw just ramps that up. Like if you're squishy and you don't get stunned or something, no tower shots maybe. I mean, you can 100 to 0 a squishy champion.
Oh yeah, you'll kill them in like 2 autos. like
It's
as
so
full lethality
stupid. Like
Scion.
that, that should not be a thing, in my opinion.
I also think that when your death timer should start after you actually die, not when you first die, like when the passive ends. Because I believe with Karthus, that's how it works. So why does it not work that way? If it doesn't work with Karthus, I think it should work
No,
that way.
I think it does work the same way as with Scion.
Okay,
Where like when the second you die, your death timer starts.
I think the death timer should start after those passives end. So like Kog'Maw, Karthus, old Zyra was that
But
way,
that would
and
make Kog'Maw even worse. Right?
yeah, but Kog'Maw needs to be just reworked in general right now, I would say, because these people don't like playing him, and he's only good with some supports overall. But
Guys, why don't you play Kog'Maw?
yeah,
I feel like that's a perfect champion for what you described. Tons of range, can pin a kill easily. Scales out the ass.
He's just like super weak, and
Oh.
I don't really like it. I don't like the, I guess, like early game feel. I just never played him much in general, so that's like one of the only ADCs I've just like never really touched. There's like 2 or 3 that I have like level 2 mastery on, and then every other one is above level 5, and I've played them a decent amount, but Dogma I just haven't played that much, so never
Gotcha.
was really interested in it.
I honestly think they should just change Kog'Maw to be able to go AD, but primarily be a caster. That's what I would say the direction they should go, because he's already viable as an AP caster, but it's suboptimal. If you try to actually balance him around being a caster and allow him to go on hit, like Nico can go on hit. That's not her preferred playstyle for the most part, although Riot buffed her to be able to do so, but that's the way I would go with Kog'Maw to fix Kog'Maw. I don't know how you do it. I'm not on the balance team, and I haven't thought about this more than it first popped into my head about 15 seconds ago or 20 seconds ago prior to me starting talking, but I think that would be an interesting way to go. Cool. Okay. Well, I'd say let's start to wrap this up, gentlemen. So, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Please be sure to go and sign up for the tournament, which we are having on May 21st starting at, I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern is when it's starting. Let me look at the announcement to be 100% sure, because I don't want to give false information. Yes, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 21st. I will post the sign up link both in the Twitch chat and then in the it will be in the episode description. If you're listening to this as well, please be sure to sign up for that. It'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, so thanks for listening, everyone. And anything else you guys want to shout out? Oh, wait, sorry, community night. Please be sure every Tuesday we are having community night on Discord, 7:15 Eastern Standard Time in our Discord, and our Discord can be found on our website as well. So, yep, please come and check that out.
Yeah, come join us.
Yep, it's a lot of fun, and I know that none of the rest of you guys stream, but use guys. Christ, I sounded Italian right there.
I stream.
But, oh, you do? Plug your
Yes.
stream, man.
I've been streaming my solo queue journey, so if you wanna follow along and see me dredge through gold, you can watch that on twitch.tv/USC_9.
Okay.
So, yep.
Nice.
I'm live pretty much every day.
All right, I'll throw you a follow for sure. And I sometimes stream as well. I was streaming a couple nights ago playing Europa Universalis, but I stream at twitch.tv/NA_Eric, so be sure to check us out. Kaib and Sean, you guys don't currently stream, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, you got to capitalize on that market exposure, guys. We're giving you free plugs, so get on it if you want to.
Twitch.tv/MadeYouSmileLol.
There you go. Twitch.tv/DanMan96, 69, 96 is another one. But yeah. In any case, thanks for tuning in, all of you of Sean's friends who did to the Twitch chat. And thanks for tuning in, everyone else who is not one of Sean's friends. We appreciate you as well. But have a good rest of your night or day if you're listening.
Bye.
Peace.